back to another episode of Celestial Crisis on With Disadvantage. I'm your host, Lepage, and joining me for I think our fourth or fifth session of this campaign are the players Shev Stamets,
Hello.
Darth Dingus as Rooster,
Butt sauce.
Butt Sauce. Is that just another name for diarrhea?
Pretty much.
I heard it in Postal too.
Yeah.
Rainbow as Billy.
I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum.
And
A lot of gum. And last but not least, Melodic Sass as Mavi.
Be interesting.
And in past games, we have enjoyed Dakota's company as well. She plays Michael. Because she is not present tonight, I will be playing Michael where Michael's involved. So, brief recap. A lot of stuff happened in the last session. The players started out on a voyage. They were en route from Fazania, the lush combination of jungles and deserts out in the west, to Storm's Keep. And last session on the way, our heroes were accosted by a great sea monster that destroyed their companionship and either ate or drowned all of those sailors, as well as a good chunk of Stamets' family and tribe. The sea monster was the pet of the sea goddess Umberlee, who also made an appearance and demanded sacrifice, as she deemed the sacrifice made in Fazania, the ones that our player characters interrupted a few sessions ago, to be inadequate. And so the crew had to sacrifice yet another crew member. They were, of course, a little unhappy about this. And so upon arriving at Storm's Keep, they called the constable, and everybody on the ship, every passenger, every player character was arrested by the constables. And just as they were on their way out, Billy, in his infinite fondness...
I would like to correct you. Not everyone was arrested, because one of them was at the bar at the time. I can't remember who was at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And the sailors confirmed this, and they did not arrest that person.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Mavi was not
I'm
arrested.
the only one who's not arrested. I'm following along, but I'm not arrested.
Thank you for that clarification. Yes, everyone except Mavi was arrested. And Billy wisely started a fire in his room on the ship. So that is where we leave off. It is presently early morning. All of the player characters have been escorted off of the ship, most of them in manacles. So I'm going to go ahead and move characters over there. I don't have a bunch of constables drawn at the moment. Unfortunately, I should have. But, just imagine there's a good complement of about 10 or 12 constables running around. And meanwhile, there's frantic screaming coming from the ship. And you can see sailors rushing in and out. Buckets attached to ropes are being thrown over the side, and you can hear Captain James barking out orders. Reroute the bilge pumps, you scurvy rats! So, does anybody do anything while witnessing the spectacle? There's not really a whole lot that any of you can do. You're under direct guard of the constables, so you can stand there, but does anybody have anything to say? Or the constables are just rolling their eyes at this shit show taking place in front of everyone.
So Stamets is just going to be confused. What's going on? Does anybody... He asked the nearest guard, I guess, that would be next to him. Sir, can you tell me what's going on?
Well, evidently a fire was started on the ship, and the sailors are
dear.
trying to put it out. Are those cannons sticking out the side of the ship? I do hope they extinguish that fire before it reaches their gunpowder stores.
Is there something we can do to help?
Oh, that's up to you. Does anybody? I mean, has anybody here been a firefighter at any point? Let's see.
I can't say I've been
Okay.
a firefighter per se, but I am pretty adept at solving some of these problems. We did have a fire break out in our cave. We were able to put it out.
Well, you're free to. No, I can't unmanacle you. I'm sorry. We're just gonna have to watch.
Well, okay. I just hope the ship doesn't sink.
I mean,
Or
I'd probably be the only one to try to get out that fire.
ma'am, are you able to put out a fire? Oh, it looks like they very well got managed. The guard looks up, and the flames and light smoke have given way to very, very dark smoke, the kind of smoke that comes from from when a fire is first put out. And the sailor Tom storms off of the ship, and let's see. Hold on just one moment. I'm going to pull up a few character sheets. I should have had these pulled out.
Are we still on the old map where, or did it load for me?
You should be on the, let me just check and make sure. Oh, yeah, I've got you on the wrong map. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this would have all been Theater of the Mind had I not been. I'm so glad you're paying attention. I thought I'd drag the sash over, and they make it so easy, but every now and then
We are
so
staring
I
at
apologize.
blackness. We have not revealed any fog of war.
We're staring at my imagination.
Is this death?
Yeah, let me unveil it for you guys. Damn it, my mouse is freezing. It is complete.
Suddenly I'm blind. Can anyone else see?
Quiet. They'll hear you.
I can't see anything.
Let's see. Close that. Get my reveal area. There we go. Okay.
Still black.
Yeah, it's
Oh, there it
like
goes. Okay.
yeah, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. By the way, the sun hasn't quite come out, so everything's still just a little bit dim. And so yeah, and then just give me one moment. Let's get.
You're like scraping your microphone or something, or you're hearing scraping sounds.
That might be just my mouse moving around.
Ah.
The one downside, this microphone picks up everything, but the one downside to it is that it seems a little bit oversensitive and picks up more
Hey, go to Discord.
ambient noise than I would care for.
Go to Discord. Go to Discord, and there's a little button right down on the bottom left where it says share screen. Just above that, there's a little button with lines that says noise suppression powered by Crisp. If you hover over it, if you click that and activate it, that will probably help a lot.
Sure. All right. Let me know if that does anything for you guys.
I think it is helping. Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't sabotage anything.
It shouldn't. I have it on.
Yeah. So Billy, roll a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving. Oh, that's a nat 1.
1. Okay. So yeah, Tom storms off the ship, and Billy is looking in the other direction. He might be checking out Sam's butt, whatever it is that he does. And Tom throws a fist and just catches Billy flush on the jaw, knocks him
I don't
down.
know. I don't know if it's what you just did with your mic or not, but I'm hearing you fluctuate up and down.
He sounds okay to me.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's being weird. All right, turn the noise suppression off. Let's see if that fixes it, because now your mic is all fucky.
All right, does that fix it?
Yeah. I think so. We'll just have to live with it.
Yeah, so Billy's been knocked down to the ground. The constables all look at Tom and start drawing their swords. And Tom says, I have no doubt who started that fire.
Yeah, goddamn lights.
The lights were off. It was nighttime.
I had them on, and you faulty lights fell to the ground. I can't help if your ship's a piece of crap.
And Tom just looks at the constable. The constable rolls his eyes, and Tom storms off. And so constable's like, all right, you lot, come with me. We'll take you to the cells. And constable starts leading everyone away. And Mavi, you are still actually free, so you can choose whether to follow them, to drop in on the local tavern and say, screw those guys, I'm going to do my own thing. What does Mavi do?
But does follow.
I heard the tail end of that. Did you say that Mavi's going to follow?
Yes, Mavi's gonna follow.
All right.
Just farther behind. They're gonna follow farther behind, not in the group.
Okay, so he leads you to an old building, and which you can tell just looking from the outside. This is the city jail, and well, before you come to the building, there's an archway, like a big gate that spans maybe 500 feet, and in there's a bunch of short towers. And he leads everyone into one of the towers. And do you follow them in there?
Who are you asking?
Mavi. Everybody else has to go. I mean, they're bound unless somebody
that's what I
wants
thought. Just making
to
sure.
start a fight with.
I follow.
Okay. So, one of the guards just looks to you as you're going into the tower and says, "Well, visiting hours don't start until 8, but I get. Are you planning on bailing them out?"
I will see what I can do. I have to monitor them at least.
He looks to another constable, and the constable just shrugs and gives a nod, like, "Sure, what the hell, let him in." So, the constables lead the party. What the? Where are my tokens? Through a bunch of adjoining cells, and into this room. And I don't know if everybody can see it. And Mavi, I remember that you actually had trouble seeing the maps. But the room that he leads you into is basically divided into 4 cells. All of them are crowded with other inmates. And he puts you into the one that is the most empty, and ushers everyone in there except for Mavi. And is there anybody who resists?
No. Thanks, Terrence. Just go with the flow at this point.
I don't see any point in resisting now.
No.
All right. So go ahead and just drag your tokens on since Mavi would be out here. Billy would be there. And Michael would be what the
Hello.
there. I think I accidentally put Michael on top of Billy. Damn it. Is everything revealed already?
Yeah, I see everything. I don't see my token.
There we go.
see a square.
I had the reveal tool selected. Chev warned me about this and said if you have the reveal tool selected, everything's going to act weird until you click your pointer. So, sitting in the cells, the guards were like, "Oh, your arraignment scheduled for 9 o'clock. Best of luck to you." And slams the door, walks out, and already a bunch of the inmates are like, Hey, what are you in here for?
And Stamets just says, "I'm actually not sure. Apparently we broke a law of some kind by trying to save a life."
Sure you did. Well, you guys know what's going on in the next few days, of course. Where are you headed?
Well, I don't know where we're headed anymore. Into this cell, apparently.
No. I mean, you guys gonna be looking for money in Visania? You guys gonna go stick here and try to be stay safe, or you guys planning on going, to Anascala? I mean, where are you guys going?
I forget.
I
where
was
we're
hoping
going.
to go somewhere. I was hoping to go somewhere a little further away from this contest.
Well, you're gonna have a hard time doing that. I mean, even in the boonies of Azania, the foresty gods, they've got their old beefs, and Maritonia. I mean, I'm planning on heading to Maritonia when I get out. There's a lot of money to be made. Heard about this mercenary band, and they pay 10 gold weekly.
Well, we could use some money. Perhaps we should head to Maritonia.
Yeah,
A lot of money to be made. All the nobles are fighting each other, and I mean, swords are just in demand. You've never made so much money. Of course, it's like this every 3 centuries or so.
Can I do an insight check to see if this dude is
Yeah.
legit or like a plant?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, where is insight? There we are. That is 20. 18 plus 2.
Okay. So you can tell gosh. That's a tough thing. It would almost been easier to roll perception, because you can tell that he's not lying to you, but you can also tell that he has an angle.
Okay, so we are being manipulated then.
Lightly.
Okay. That's it. Stamets doesn't say anything after realizing this.
Okay.
So what gives you so much confidence that you're gonna stick around long enough to see that pay off?
Oh, I've already been sentenced. I'm out in a week.
Well,
What'd you do?
Yeah, what
did I do? Oh, I got in a brawl.
How
And they're
long
just
did
going to
that,
let you go?
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't send anybody to the hospice. I didn't kill anyone, and so yeah, around here, they, the sentence for public, whatever they call it, public disorder, is 3 months. I've got 2 weeks left.
I wonder how long
I was
we'll
just
be
here
in
to
you know-
recruit.
Do you know the punishment for sending someone to the grave?
Yeah, most things like that. I know that they hang you for stealing. I know that they hang you for murder. I know that they hang you for breaking into somebody's house at night. What else do they hang you for? They like to hang people here. I'm actually pretty lucky that I'm lucky that my sword wasn't with me. Oh, and just then, a let's see, hold on. Yeah, just then, a little gnome in high heels, and what would be the medieval equivalent of a power suit strolls in, and a one of the constables is escorting her, and he points directly at Stamets and Billy, and she approaches the party and introduces herself, and it's like, "Hi, how you doing? Welcome to Storm's Keep. I hear that you might be in need of an attorney."
Thank you, and yes.
They're in a power suit, you said? Like a steampunk power suit?
No,
Yeah,
more like
like big, think big lapels, kind of gaudy. Like a lot of money went into it, but the style is lacking.
I thought it was a lederhosen.
I think he's talking about like a lawyer suit.
Well, yeah, suit's a suit. I mean, the components are the same. It just depends on who's wearing it.
Not like a mech suit.
Oh, no. I see. Okay, I was like steampunk. I guess punks wear suits. No. Like fancy clothes.
Okay.
Oh, and
so
so
okay. So it's not
yeah,
mechanical?
she looks no, it's not mechanical.
Oh,
it's
okay,
cloth.
okay. Because Stamets was about to be fascinated. He's like, as she comes in. I thought you said a mech suit.
No, I said power suit.
He's too young.
Oh,
Like-
you did say
like
power
a
suit.
like
That's
a
right.
business suit.
And you're thinking about
Okay.
Fallout, I think.
Yes, I totally was thinking about power
my
armor.
God. I have never heard that expression used for that. But that makes perfect sense. But no. She's this tiny, squeaky little gnome.
I thought you
And-
wrote it in a power suit.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and
Can we change it to she's like a lawyer with a mech suit?
oh,
Are you in charge of sentencing us?
no, I'm just a defense attorney. My name is Zilna. Of
Do you know
Zilna
how long we're
Zilna?
going to have to be in here?
No,
Miss
not
Zilna?
yet. You haven't appeared before the judge.
Well, just in your experience in this line of work that I assume you're familiar, what does someone get for preventing a sacrifice?
Preventing a sacrifice. That depends on where it is. As I understand, nothing related to those events took place on the dock. Or at least that's what the constable told me, but I wanted to hear it from you guys.
Oh yeah, it was on a different island that this took place on.
I can attest this was somewhere else.
But yeah, so let's see. And she pulls out a little scroll. Oh yeah, you won't be here long at all. You'll probably be hanged for arson.
Hanged? What does it mean to be hanged? Hung from where?
And she looks over at Michael, who's just sitting in the corner, kind of sullen. Is he okay?
What'd you say?
She's like looking at the rest of the group, just sort of stunned that you don't know what hanging is, and just says, "Is he all right?"
I'm
Oh,
quite
he's
all right.
new. He's got memories.
I just don't have a
He
lot of
seems-
experience with things.
He seems to be one of those strong, silent types.
Um,
Kind of
I-
speak out the side of my mouth.
well, I'll just let you know how the judge describes it. He says, "Hung from the neck until dead." He leaves out the rope part, but most people understand that.
Well, I don't see the arson part. I mean, the ship was faulty at that, so I think it's the ship's fault, not ours.
Oh, slip and fall. I like that idea. You're the victim. Yeah, that'll work.
And he even punched me afterwards for no good reason. The
Assault
customer
and
saw it.
battery. So now my understanding is anything related to the sacrifice took place in Phasadia?
Yep.
Okay. So I usually don't take on as many clients. Let's see, we have you and you and you and you and you. And oh, don't forget me.
Ah, yes, of course. We can't forget Squanch.
And involved. They got this big production killers and all sorts of foolishness. I got dragged and had to drag a ship. But my rights enforced. Well, what do you have in the way of a retainer?
Retainer.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
my
usually
teeth are
charge
fine.
5 gold per client, but with the case as complicated as this, I think 8 is pretty fair.
Oh, gold, you say?
Yes,
I think...
Mister, I don't understand what hanging is. They're round yellow coins that have value and can be
yes.
exchanged
I
for
did
goods and
find some.
services.
I had some in my pocket when I woke. I 5 of them.
All
Will
right.
these do? And he pulls out the 5 gold.
Well, that's a start. And she quickly reaches through the bars and tries to snag him from his hand.
He doesn't realize that he should probably just hang on to them, so he just gives them over. So that's all I have in my inventory, by the way. So should I remove them?
Yep.
Well, I don't have any gold, but I do have you said I do have a pretty good law case against them, so why don't we split that?
I don't take cases on contingency, and
Well, what if you took 75 and I took 25% of the winnings?
you are accused of arson. I mean, let's not forget that.
Hey, do they have to read you any kind of legal right or anything before detainment?
No. From what I understand, they do that in Maritonia. Storm's Keep is not nearly as progressive.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Assault and battery, public disorder.
Oh,
If I'm not mistaken, you're the one who rode here in the brig, right?
Yes, I'm pleased I've become so popular.
Oh, you have nothing to worry about. I mean, well, you have a little bit to worry about. What do you have for cash?
I'm homeless.
Yeah, you've got a lot to worry about.
What if I had a spin? What if I had an angle?
What's your angle?
I am a highly skilled and well-trained martial artist. I am homeless. I sleep out at the docks. I go to the docks in the evening to see the peace of mind, to see the sunset. Of course, like anyone else in an unfortunate situation, I like to hit the drinks sometimes, like sailors who are also fairly misfortunate as to be occupied with such a career. I was attacked.
You know, I like
They
this.
They made fun of my pee-pee. I was urinating off the side of the dock.
As a homeless vagrant who drinks a lot and picks fights, I think you're going to be very easy to defend.
What about me? I was attacked too because the faulty ship.
That was sarcasm. We're going to have to find a different angle.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of witnesses that saw him punch me right in the face, knock me down.
Hey, DM.
Luckily for you, sir, Mr. Scaleface, what do I call you?
Rooster.
Rooster. Makes perfect sense. Luckily for you, there will be no criminal liability that you'll face in Storm's Keep. Only civil. How severe were the injuries that you caused to their sailors?
They
In
were no
Storm's
longer
Keep.
conscious.
Only civil.
I don't know about
How
this severely
severe were the
beaten
injuries that
nonsense.
you caused to their sailors?
I'm not
No
strong
longer
enough
conscious.
They
In
were no
Storm's
longer
Keep.
conscious.
They're only civil.
I don't know about
How
this
did you break any
severely
severe were the
beaten
injuries that
nonsense.
you caused to their?
Absolutely not with my own hands. Maybe when they fell.
Fell from the rigging. I mean, sailing is a very dangerous profession.
Absolutely. They had heavy objects on their person.
Okay. And finally, the murder on the dock. Who is responsible for that?
I mean, the one that didn't take place over here.
Yes, the one in Fazania.
I think that was my blow.
Your blow?
But Stammins and who's Dakota's character?
Michael.
Stammins and Michael was also in the fight.
And does anybody dispute that Billy struck the fatal blow?
I don't remember.
My memory was that it was Michael, but I could be mistaken.
Oh, was it Michael? Then I guess it was Michael.
I thought she stabbed him through the neck.
Okay, I think because we both stabbed people in the neck. I think that's why I got confused. Okay, it was Michael. Then never mind. I take that back.
I don't remember at all, so I defer to you guys.
Okay. Well, let's get this train wreck on the road. You've got your hearing in about 20 minutes. Is there anything I should know?
Will they be more inclined to prosecute if I stink?
If you stink?
Homeless people stink.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure that I absolutely heard what you said.
I don't have time to wash you.
But I mean, is it a problem? That's all I really care about.
I don't think so. I mean, I think the only criminal charges that we're defending right now are arson. And everything else took place in Fazania, so I think we're good.
If I'm not the one who started the fire, and I'm not the one who murdered the person that was going to make a sacrifice on the docks, what am I being charged with?
Conspiracy and intervention.
Oh.
And loss of property.
Loss of
Well,
property.
what proof do they have about arson? That's what I'd like to know.
Well, they said that there were no flammable lights within the same room, and they also said that the room was used and only used at the time by you, Mr. Fawn.
Well, I
should
just
get
there was
everybody's
a
names. What is your
lantern.
name, Mr. Fawn?
Mr. Fawn.
It's Billy. It's Billy, and there was a lantern there.
All right. Billy and Rooster and Mr. I've never heard of hanging before. What do I call you?
Stamets.
Stamets?
That's
And what's your curmudgeon-y little friend over there? Excuse me.
Oh, his name is Pain in the Butt.
You mean the comic relief?
The name's Squanch, if you must know. Squanch, you'll be my victim. And, let's see. So, Stamets, Rooster. Oh, and my witness. In the corner. What's your name? Michael. And my witness. Who's your friend out here on the other side of the bars?
I don't know. Who is it?
The only one who wasn't arrested, and I think she stopped paying attention.
It's melodic.
Yeah.
Our intermittent.
Or she's disconnected. We can't
Or
hear
she's
you.
Melodic, are you there?
That would be our intermittently catatonic friend, Mavi.
Well,
Oh, her
I
mic
hope
cut
she's
out.
less catatonic in court. All right.
Intermittently catatonic. She said mic cut out.
Gotcha. So, Zippy calls for the constable. Zilna calls for the constable, and he goes over, unlocks, manacles everybody, and starts leading everyone away. And Mavi, does Mavi just follow?
I'll follow.
She said yes.
Oh.
If she's struggling, can she just do Discord from her phone? And then I can describe things in a bit more detail so she can at least be involved in the theater of the mind sense.
Oh, is she hearing us and just not able to talk? Is that what's going on? Or is
Yeah.
Yeah. She says, hold on, I'm going to hang up and try something.
Do you want to take a 5-minute break?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll press on.
Oh,
5-minute breaks become 10-minute breaks, and then everybody's like, we'll come back another time, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't... Been there, done that. So...
Oh, I heard something.
Yeah, I have some.
Hello,
I did too.
testing 1, 2, 3.
Yay, we hear you.
Okay.
Yay! I'm glad that you're back. I was so
Can you
worried.
say something again?
Oh, she's not
Hello?
catatonic anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I put some headset in, so we'll
Hey,
figure
you
it
sound
out.
great now.
All right. Awesome. Perfect. So, Zilna leads into the courtroom, and let me make sure that I've dragged the sash. I did not drag the sash. All right, let me know when everybody can see the court.
I
Yep,
can see
I
the
can see
court.
the court.
I can see.
The People's Court.
Yo, is that guy's gavel just a warhammer?
Yes.
That's
Yeah, they
sick.
go through so many desks. It's not even funny.
He just strikes a gong.
And let me make sure I've got all my ducks in a row.
That's what
for
these
the-
pieces right here, because he hits the desk too hard and they just fly right off.
Okay, so she leads you in, and there's so for Melodic Sass's benefit, he leads you into this courtroom, and the woodwork is spectacular. It's paneled throughout its entirety. The floors are stone. There's 2 desks in the front. They're oak that were pulled out of the sea as driftwood 500 years ago. Across the way there's a bleacher behind one of the desks on the left. Everybody, all the player characters file in, and are directed by the constable to be seated on the left. On the right, there is a gigantic orc. He must be 9 feet tall, wearing a suit and tie, with a humongous bundle of folders and files on his desk in old parchment. At the front, there's a single desk, and it sits about 10 feet up in the air. Anybody who is familiar with any sort of court, even mockery court, can see that that's the judge's desk. It's way above everybody else. And at the top, you see the dwarf that time forgot. There are cobwebs in his beard. He's wearing a little black robe, and he has these little half-moon spectacles on his gigantic red nose.
I'm picturing that
There's a
king
little-
from Lord of the Rings that's like possessed. What's his name?
Kind of, yes. But imagine if it was Gimli that looked like that.
Okay.
Is he friends with Littlefoot?
What?
Littlefoot from Land Before Time?
How
Oh my
did I remember Littlefoot from Land Before Time, but I don't understand the joke.
He's
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
you
either.
said that. You said that he was from what did you say he was from? Like the land
Oh,
that time forgot?
No, the dwarf that time forgot.
He's from the
Oh, the
land
dwarf that
before
time forgot.
time.
So
Maybe he's that ancient.
so he files in, or everybody files in, sits down, and the dwarf pulls out this warhammer that's just been cut off at the handle. So instead of having a 4 or 5 foot handle, it's got a little 1.5 foot handle. And he bangs this gavel that if anybody was up there, they could see that it has multiple cracks in it. And so everybody hears, bop, 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 order, order, Mr. Horgan. And you hear the big Orsh over there. Yes, Judge. Which case and cause number is this? 1543. The case of Captain James et al. Versus Stamets, the Volnock, or Vernon. He turns to his paralegal. What does it say? Verdun et al. All right. Appearances. This is Prosecutor Horgan, representing Storm's Keep. And for defendants. Hello, Judge. It's so good to see you again.
Oh, no. Not again.
Counselors, Zilna. This is Zilna of Zilna and Zilna appearing on behalf of Mr. Stamets, Mr. Rooster, Miss Michael, and Mr. Squanch. Et al. I think I got everybody. Did I get everybody? Oh, and Mr. Billy. All right. The court will be called to order, and this is for burglary and murder and theft. Right, Mr. Horgan? No, Judge. They're outside. And he points out a window, and everybody can see out the window that Mr. Horgan is pointing out of a gallows constructed with a dwarf, 2 elves, and 2 humans, and a hangman. And about a second after Horgan points out the window, the hangman pulls the lever, and all 5 are dropped through the bottom of the gallows and hanged right there in front of everyone. Sorry, Mr. Horgan. What's this case? Arson. Murder, theft of goods, conspiracy. Yes. Messiona, how do the defendants plead? Not guilty, Your Honor. Not guilty of the criminal charges, and they are countersuing for damages. Well, that isn't noted in the pleadings here. Will you please explain? Well, yes, I'll start with my defendant, Billy. He is accused of starting a fire on the ship, and his counterclaim is that the ship was so unsafe as to represent a hazard to any passengers. It should be examined and cited for all of the unsafe and low quality conditions. One of the passengers was transported solely in a brig because they were out of quality rooms. And the light fixtures, as my client describes, were so loose on their settings that one fell down and started a fire. He says he and his fellow fawn barely made it out alive. He also said part of his tail was singed off, and he's suing for damages. It was a lovely tail.
God.
Pulling out all the stops.
I feel like we should just let PJ record an audiobook. I'd listen to it.
50 Shades
Mr.
of
Billy.
50 Shades of LaPeach.
No.
Mr. Billy, please explain yourself.
Well, the lighting fell off the wall and started a fire, and then after all that commotion, one of the crewmates came up and sucker punched me right on the dock in front of the constable.
Is this true? Mr. Hogan, has this man been arrested? No, Your Honor. No crime was reported. Hearsay. Objection, hearsay. No witness.
Oh, the constable was there.
Well, we may have to call him in as a witness.
Hey, didn't we see this happen? Like,
Yeah, you saw it happen too.
yeah. Couldn't we be examined as witnesses?
I think so. I don't know.
Yes, you can. It just hasn't come to that yet.
Okay.
But if you want to, you could whisper to attorney and say, "We saw that," or something like that to get her attention.
Since I was transported solely in the brig, I could attest to poor conditions in the brig, rattling of fixtures on the wall, so on, etc.
And Mr. Hogan speaks up and says, "Your Honor, this fawn is clearly lying. After the fire was extinguished, examination of the room was done by the crew, and they found the fixture still up on its setting.
Well, this one was a. How many did they find? Because this one must have been knocked off.
Counsel
and burned in the fire.
Dock Authority. Well, his reports are pretty accurate. Usually, he's always been trustworthy in the past. Your Honor, I would like to place one of my clients on the stand to testify. All right. Which one? Mr. Rooster, will you please approach the stand?
All right, so I kind of get up and my back pops like 6 or 7 times, and I hobble over to the stand. This is the first time I've stood up straight since I've been in.
By the way,
brig.
Judge, you are looking quite trim. Have you been exercising? Well, and does it so? Counsel, not now. That is inappropriate during a hearing.
You keep
But
bumping
yes,
your-
I have been exercising. Your witness. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and the truth by all the gods?
Your Honor, I solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and the truth again before all the gods.
All right, proceed.
I can attest from being in the hull, the main bulky space of this ship, the brig. From being in this cage, I can attest that there was a lack of structural integrity. Constantly, I heard boards shifting and grinding, not grinding, but flexing around me. That's particularly after the incident with the Kraken, as well as several fixtures that I had noticed rattling on loose screws. Occasionally, oil would drip from a lamp fixture.
Anything else, witness?
Nothing with regards to the arson, Your Honor.
All right. Cross? Yes, please. All right, proceed. Mr. Rooster, is it?
Yes.
Mr. Rooster, how long were you on that ship?
For the duration of the trip, as well as the evening before it began.
Why were you there?
I was there because myself, as well as 4 sailors, were extremely intoxicated, and a fight had begun.
Who instigated this fight?
I don't necessarily remember. They were being mildly agitated from the moment that I had encountered them to begin with. And just then, Zilna's like gritting her teeth and shaking her tiny little head. And the prosecutor, Mr. Hogan, says,
"And so, in open court, you are admitting you engaged in disorderly conduct."
"I am admitting that I defended myself."
And Zilna's like, she smiles and nods her tiny little head. So you attest that there were rattles and squeaks aboard a ship?
Yes.
Have you ever traveled by ship before?
Only a handful of times.
Only a handful of times. Judging by your attire, sir, is it a correct assumption to say you do not generally sail fourth class?
That would be correct.
Have you ever been aboard a derelict ship? Or any ship, for that matter, not constructed by elves?
I have been aboard a ship not constructed by elves, but certainly not a derelict ship.
Is it not the common experience that boards will swell and squeak and rattle under the pressures of sailing at sea?
Certainly,
Mr.
but,
Orc, sir, might I add something? Stamets doesn't understand
Silence!
the procedure. Oh dear.
Your Honor, he is not sworn in. I demand sanctions!
Oh, I apologize.
Sanctions are a little premature at this time, Mr. Hogan. Zilna, control your client. And Zilna gives you like the ugly, like if looks could kill, Stamets would have died an instant death with no rerolls.
I'm sorry, Zilna.
As I was saying, yes, this is true, but I'm primarily attesting to the condition of the ship after the Kraken incident. The seas were quite choppy, as you can imagine, as this creature, this horrible monstrosity, emerged from the ocean and devoured the adjacent travelers.
And you attest that the seas were choppy afterwards.
Well, I was certainly nauseated by the time it was over. I have a couple of bruises from rattling against the back of the cage.
Your Honor, this is a farce. This witness is attesting to sea conditions that every sea traveler has experienced. There is nothing in his testimony to note that the ship was anything less than seaworthy. Rattles and squeaks, particularly in rough seas, are common. I have no further use of this witness. And Zilna looks at the judge like with these pleading eyes. Redirect. Oh, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Rooster, you testified that there were rattles and squeaks, but you also testified earlier that the condition of the ship was dubious, shall we say?
There were barnacles inside the ship.
Will you please describe in detail for the court what made this ship less seaworthy than other ships that you have been on?
Certainly. Now, it's important to note that I wouldn't have gotten. I never really got a particularly good look at the outside of it, but the on the inside, I can attest to the presence of insects in the wood, as well as in the food. I think that's a bit typical.
Let's talk about the fixtures. Were there any fixtures that you saw actually fall out of their settings while you were on this ship?
Not fall out, but loosen a little bit of dust trickling down.
When you say loosen, please describe, were there any that appeared in a precarious position?
One at the far end near the stairs.
Your Honor, while my client explains that he did experience the conditions common with ship travel, there were certain aspects of this ship that made it more seaworthy than the rest, and he has no doubt from his testimony that given enough time on the sea, future fires will start and stop on this ship. Oh, well... Mr. Hogan, has any testimony been given on the means of which this fire has started? There is no mention in your pleadings about whether this was started by lantern, by tinderbox, by magic. What does the constable say about that? Is there any opinion by the dock master? And Mr. Hogan starts furiously fumbling through his folders. No, Your Honor. There appears to be no evidence of magic, of tinder, or any other means of arson. But the light was on its fixture. Well, Mr. Rooster, you testified to dripping oil, did you not?
Yes, I saw not only some smears of oil on the wall, but several open containers of spirits.
Mr. Stammons, did you notice anything similar?
And he looks over at Zilna questioningly.
And
Does she nod
Zilna
like that I
gives
can talk?
roll perception.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh no. Perception. There we are. That's a 10.
You have no guidance from Zilna.
Okay, well,
You
then...
see like a little grimace on her face, but I mean, Stammons probably can't interpret that.
All right, well, he's going to look at... Who's asking him the question? Is it the judge?
Yep.
Yes, Your Honor. The ship... What did seem to be in disrepair. I've never been on a ship before. But if I was to construct one myself...
I've heard enough from him.
Well,
Never been on a ship before. Where did you live under a rock?
Well, I will say there were a lot of random components and parts strewn about. I used them to build a
Are
quite
all of your
wonderful
clients
mechanical feline.
Yes, they're honest. You'll have to forgive him. He's from the backwoods of Fazania. He didn't even know what hanging was.
Your Honor, this one is very naive.
Well, it's not my fault.
Tim.
You know, I'm starting to wish we would have just stayed in our cave. Isn't that right, Squanch?
Well, born under a rock, I guess you should stay under a rock.
Well, we ran out of food.
Fawn. Well, Fawn's the accused. I can't really trust his answer. Night. And Michael answers, me, Your Grace. Your Honor, not Your Grace. Yes, sorry. Honor. Oh, I forgot my question. Oh, I remember. Do you remember seeing any trickling oil or unsafe conditions by any of the lights in the ship? Loads of oil. I didn't know lanterns could leak so much. Well, it sounds like this ship must be examined, and at least the lights. Where were these lights purchased? I'd be interested to know. I'll bet they were built by kobolds. And Zilna at that point can sense a shift in the judge. Oh, and Your Honor, I forgot. I nearly forgot. You saw in my pleading that my client is asking for damages of 10 gold for the scare and the burning to his tail. And he doesn't seek damages for the assault just yet, but he may have to. Well, save that for the civil case. All right, Mr. Hogan. I find, by reason of significant doubt, that the Fawn is not guilty of arson. Do you have any other criminal charges to bring to my attention? And Mr. Hogan shakes his head. Your Honor. Or nods his head. Your Honor, recent legislation passed through the Chamber of Storm's Keep presents reduced penalties for crimes committed in Fazania. Oh, yes. Bill number 594, if I remember correctly. Based on that, she is guilty of murder. But instead of being hanged, she's to be incarcerated for a year. Oh, yes. What is your answer, defense counsel? And Zilna looks horrified. She looks at everyone, Stamets especially, and says, I didn't know about this. Who struck the fatal... Hey, who struck the fatal blow?
It was Michael.
Well, Michael, is there anybody who didn't witness you stab someone through the neck? No, I don't think so. Oh, shit. Your Honor, my client would claim self-defense. Well, my understanding is that she was sacrificed to the goddess of the sea. She was negotiating a sacrifice to the goddess of the sea, and she was shamelessly attacked. Well, but she is willing to plead for about 6 months instead of a year. Does that work for you, Mr. Hogan? Yes, Your Honor. And he flashes the angriest, ugliest grin in the direction of the defendants to have stuck something. And Zilna grimaces and looks over at Michael. Does that work for you, Michael? Michael, thinking there's no other recourse, her defense attorney just urged the plea.
Can I say something, or to the defendant?
Yeah, you can say anything.
To the lawyer, I'd like to say, ask if we can do some community service.
That's not the way things work here.
We'll take on anything. You want a monster killed? We'll do it.
That's not the way things work here. Shut up.
This makes 2 conflicts between us and the crew. What's up with the crew?
Your Honor, my client will plead for the reduced sentence. Sorry, Michael. And with that, the constable leads Michael away to serve her time in the jail. Is there anything else, Your Honor? Oh, the criminal court. No. With the arson dismissed and the murderer arrested, the rest are free to go. And Zilna leads everyone out and out onto the court steps. The steps of the courthouse, and looks to Rooster and Mavi and Billy. Well, you can thank me for that miracle.
Thank you.
Mavi had to bite the bullet, but everybody else got off scot-free. And you and I, Billy, have a deal that I will represent you for your civil case. And Mr. Squatch. I'll be representing you for your civil suit. Do you intend to stay long? Oh, I think I've had enough. Are there any decent lodgings you can recommend? Yes, I can take very good care of you. Let's see, Stamets, you owe me 2 gold. Mr. Rooster.
Didn't you say 8
I was
gold?
your star witness.
Why, yes, I did. You owe me 3 gold.
That's correct. Stamets looks pleased with himself.
And what about you, Rooster? I don't expect your transient status to have changed much, but What can
I
you
look
say?
at it. I look at it and go, is there anything that me and Rooster can do that can pay it off, like some kind of side job?
Yeah, you can borrow it for a friend, or I'll have you thrown right into the dirty, rotten cells you came out of.
Do you need anyone else, collected from? We can go get for you.
Actually,
We'll do it.
I do. There's this dwarf. I know he makes a lot of money. He's a jeweler. He's been dodging me for months.
All right, me and Rooster, we'll go talk to him, and once we get his money, we'll swear.
He owes me 15 gold. If you can, and well, that's how much he owes me. You each owe me 18 gold, 8 gold. So if you come back with 31 gold, we'll call it even.
All right, we'll get 31 gold out of him.
He lives, well, if I knew where he lived, he'd have already paid up. But he's frequently on the seaside bar, so if you can find him and make him pay, I'll get you off the hook. But after a week, I'm hiring orcish enforcers for him, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to send them after you too.
Now, what'd you say his name was again?
His name is Gershwin.
Gurshwin.
What is
Close enough. Hooked on Phonics worked for me. I'm sure it worked for you too.
what can you tell us about him? What does he look like? What does he like to do? When might I see him?
He's a younger dwarf. I know he loves the ladies. That's what brought him into my service to begin with. And he's very good with the battle axe. So watch out. He has red hair and red beard. Big nose. Thick limbs. He's no wallflower. He shouldn't be hard to spot, especially if he's drunk.
Now, you said that he's a jeweler.
Yeah, he collects, evaluates, and collects jewels. The second collecting mean that he takes them from maybe some unwilling donors.
Now, if we can't get the gold, will you accept the jewels?
I will accept anything of 31 gold value or higher. If I have to sell it, you know what? No, I don't have to sell it. I'm an attorney, and I just saved your skins. You could be dangling right now like the group that we saw from the burglary case.
Well, does one of your clients buy things that we can go to?
That is going to be for you to figure out.
I thought.
Bye-bye. And off she goes.
I thought it was a civil case.
A civil case is until next week.
I think this
All
is
right,
on you.
hey, Rooster, let's go get this guy and get that money.
Didn't agree to this, but sure, okay.
Because two broke guys like us.
So,
we're not
does anybody talk to Stamets or Mavi or Michael? Well, Michael's gone.
I look at the remaining parties. Oh, guys, you want to come with us to help us pay off our debt?
Yeah, we may not even kill somebody this time.
I'm out of here. I'm gonna go find. Wait, Zilna, wait! And Squanch takes off in pursuit of Zilna.
So maybe we should legitimately discuss not staying long enough to pay the debt.
You will have to pay it at one point. I can let you have I can help pay for some of it, but not all of it. You will have to come up with the rest your own.
Well, you guys want to come help us? We're going to go talk to this dwarf about paying his debt.
Well, I'm just saying there's about to be a lot of chaos in the entire fucking world. You know, in a few days, we may be significantly harder to reach if we were, say, on another continent.
Yeah, but the problem is, though, we would have to break someone out of prison. We have
Do
to
my
stay
computer
longer.
just shit the bed, or is everybody just quiet right now?
They're talking.
Oh, we've been talking. Do you hear us?
Do you not hear us?
You are stuck in one frame, like on your webcam. Okay.
There you go.
You're free.
Oh, okay, I'm back.
Welcome
Yeah.
Released
back.
from the liminal space.
And yeah, when they were talking, you just couldn't hear.
Gotcha.
So Stamets is
secure
probably
is
gonna try is instinctively gonna go with Zilna and Squanch. Wait for me, Squanch.
All right. Oh. Better not have to give you under my cord. And you see that he's got clutched in his hand this big old bag of coins.
Squanch does?
Wait, who has
Yeah,
coins?
Squanch does.
Squanch, where'd you get all those coins?
They're at the back of the cave. Nobody else wanted them. Been carrying them around ever since we left.
You realize that could save all of us? How much is in there?
I don't know. I'm sure that Miss Zilna can help me with it. She said she'd find me a place to stay until someone pays me for my pain and suffering.
Oh, God.
Give me that, Squanch. And then Stamets reaches for the bag. Does he give it to him?
Oh, no, you don't. I need a place to stay on this miserable rock while I'm waiting for the damned attorney.
Squanch, I command you to let me count the gold in that satchel.
I'll count it, but I'm not giving any to you, you little upstart.
We may need it to save ourselves. How much is in there? Can I at least...
And he starts counting it, and well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And by now, he's got Zilna's attention.
I owe
45.
I owe 3. How much? How much do you guys owe? He asks you.
Oh, by then you're out of earshot of the other parties. They have no idea that any of this is going on.
Oh, I thought they were deciding whether to go.
No.
No, you took off running. Remember, Zilna went walking off like 5 minutes ago. Squanch, realizing she was going and not really having a crutch to stand on or to find lodging or anything, went chasing after her. And then everybody else started debating what the next step should be.
Hey, I
So-
turned to Mavi and Billy, and hey, what are the chances?
Before we go back to Rooster and Mavi and Billy and everybody else, let's finish up with Squanch and Stamets and Zilna, since we're kind of in the middle of something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so does Stamets remember how much they owe?
Oh, how much they owe?
Yeah.
He remembers how much he owes. He didn't really. I would say, roll. What would be the closest thing to memory
Probably history.
for?
Perception?
That's it.
I tend
What'd
to
you
treat
say?
history like memory, but
Okay, yeah, roll history. See if offhand you can remember how much is owed.
no, it's a 6.
Okay, yeah, not even.
Oh.
The number I had in my head was 13.
Well, but Stamets is going to recognize that that's a lot of gold for what is needed. And
oh hell
so
yeah! Like
he's
everybody else is in
immediately-
a single digit.
He's immediately going to look around and see if he can see Brewster and and Mavi.
50,
Billy.
55, 60,
Squanch, you realize we
65.
could save our friends. They're about to go on a quest.
67 gold.
They're about to go on a quest to save themselves and pay their debt.
They're not taking any of this. This is mine. This is for my upkeeping. Mine.
Why are you like this, Squanch? Why? We're
Because
all in
if
this
I
together.
don't look out for Squanch, nobody else is going to.
I looked out for you since we woke up from the anomaly.
You dragged me through a burning desert, set me on a ship that sank, and drowned me, pulled me out of the sea like some poor rat.
Yes, I saved your ass several times, Squanch.
You only after putting it in danger. I'm always cleaning up after your mistakes, and I can't be responsible for you forever, young lad. You need to learn self-sufficiency.
You
Oh,
just
if
found
Mavi
that
was
satchel.
there
For
to
all
hear
you
this.
know, Squanch, it belongs to all of us, or not, or none of you, or it doesn't even belong to you at all.
Well, it belongs to me for 3 months, which is more claim than you'll ever have over it. I'll take care of you because I love you and you're like a son to me. How much do you owe the lawyer?
Well, I owe 3, and
All right.
I know
done.
Rooster has to pay his debt.
Did Rooster pull me out of the sea? Did Rooster save poor drowning Squanch when he needed help?
All right,
Would
Squanch.
Rooster have lost a wink of sleep if poor Squanch had drowned?
I promised.
I am not paying for
I
Rooster.
promised Zilna that I would pay 25 gold. Do you have 25?
You better roll a very high deception
I
check.
was
You
just waiting for
said
that.
You owe 3 gold.
Please
God
roll a
damn
nat
it!
20.
I
for
just
love of
rolled a
God.
2.
Ah!
That's terrible luck.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Well,
Be
I just
honest.
remembered my left pinky toe owes her 25 gold as well. There's just not enough to go around. Sorry.
Fine, Squanch. At least give me the 3 that I owe.
Gladly. Oh, you're such a dear one to me.
All right. So
Oh,
it's
here's a 4th gold just for good measure.
it's Zilna I owe it to, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Zilna's sitting there and just licking her chops. Oh, Squanch! I had no
Oh,
idea
no.
you had such excellent
No.
resources. Well, you know that I do work part-time as a tour
No.
guide. And
No.
what are the things at the front of the airport that tell you like the sights and things?
I
Prostitutes?
suppose escort would be one way to phrase it.
No, not escort.
She kind
An
of gets
escort without the fun part.
Concierge. That's the word I was looking for. Oh, and I work part-time as a concierge. I'll be able to show you the best lodging in all of Storm's
No.
Keep.
Stop him. Stop him. For the love of God. I will come running, barreling, and kidnap him myself.
I turn to Mavi and Billy and go,
You
"Hey,
guys
what
can't
is-
hear any of what's going on. The only person with an earshot is poor naive Stamets.
hey,
And
hey, what are the
Stamets-
chances that
Stamets,
Stamets,
stop him.
I'm sorry. I have to stay true to my character, and he's not going to recognize that anything untoward is going on.
Unless he wants to roll.
Boy.
Anything about
I guess,
her
yeah, we
behavior.
could. I'll let the DM decide. You want me to roll perception or insight?
Roll perception. I'll let you roll perception just because you notice anyone would notice her
High.
interest set on pretty heavy once the gold was counted.
All right. Let's see.
Roll high. Please, for the love of God, roll high.
14.
That is enough for him
I feel
to
like-
suspect.
Ugh.
I mean, the number in my head was 12. 15 would have been
Or that
obvious.
works.
Squanch, I urge you to be cautious here.
Well, now, why would I be cautious? This attorney obviously has nothing but my best interests in mind.
I want to smack all three of them. Actually, just the two of them. So hard right now.
Can't you see she's just a helpful soul that wants to take care of poor Squanch?
Okay, so Squanch being an old man, Stamets is going to, at this point, try to just grab the satchel.
All right, roll dexterity.
Okay, just raw dex, or
you know what? We'll give you sleight of hand.
sleight of hand. Okay. Ooh, 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
The grab is successful, and Stamets snatches it right out of his old elderly hand.
Squanch,
And,
you're about to lose all of this money to somebody who is just buttering you up. I will keep it safe for you. If you need gold, I will give you some.
But my gold, that's mine. That's mine. Poor
Squanch?
Squanch, I don't want adventures. I don't
Squanch?
want.
Squanch, please, don't make me tie you up again.
That's a crime. Has he tied you up before? Yes, he tied me up in prison.
It was for his own safety. He tends to hurt himself if left unattended.
Wait.
Well, there are no criminal remedies available for that, but I can still pursue civil pain and suffering like you wouldn't believe.
Oh my god!
I don't remember him tying him up. I
Freaking
thought
old
it
man.
was.
Okay.
I thought it was someone else who tied him up.
Oh, that's right. It
All
wasn't.
right.
It wasn't Stamets. It was Mikhail. It was
Stamets.
Michael, I think.
So do we need to retcon that and say does Stamets remember that clearly?
I do remember. He would.
I
remember.
feel like
there.
no,
Oh,
with
shit.
his old
Okay.
brain, he might remember it, but I don't know if he remembers
Alright.
who.
I-
With his
he
old
did-
brain, I
he
don't
did
think he
feel-
remembers
you know what?
who. He just remembers being tied up.
I agree, and I think that he would even take ownership of the fact that it happened because he was there, he remembered it, he left him there willingly, and he felt guilty about it, and got drunk and felt extra guilty about it. So let's not retcon anything. That's just the way Stamets perceives it. But at this
Okay.
point, Stamets is going to grab Squanch by the wrist or whatever and prod him to come. Come on, Squanch, we must find the rest of our group. We must see which way Mikhail or Michael and Billy and Mavi and Rooster have gone.
Michael's in prison.
Oh, that's right.
So it's just the rest of us.
Whatever. He's gonna turn around and try to find them. Do I know where they went?
Don't
Like, which
forget,
direction?
your civil hearing is next Tuesday. I'll see you then.
Thanks, Zelna.
Did you pay Zelna right now?
I gave her the 3
Oh
gold.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And you gave me, and Squanch
Good.
gave me an extra 4th gold, so I pocketed that one. So I have 1 gold on me.
Yes.
How much is in the satchel?
He stopped count. Let's see, 67 gold were in the satchel.
67 in the satchel. That's after Squanch
Yeah,
gave
Yeah.
me 4.
So now
63
it's
left. You can
64.
go ahead and put it in your inventory.
Okay.
That'll
so-
make it way easier to track.
And that's 67 minus the 4 that he handed me already?
Yep, so you have 63 left.
Okay. So
Yeah. So
63
you get plus 1 gold, but then there's 63 gold in the
for
satchel.
64. Got it.
That is not yours.
Well, it's on me, so
Yeah.
I'm putting it in my inventory, so we keep track of it. Okay. Yeah. So does Stamets know which direction the rest of them went?
No, and you've got this old man behind you taking these horrible, like, DC4 swings at you.
I was just gonna say, I assume I'm easily able to not be attacked
Yeah.
by Squanch. Okay. All right, come on, Squanch. You're just going to have to trust me.
Are you Your mother would be ashamed of you. I don't remember her. You don't remember her, but she would be ashamed.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Does Stammet see the rest of the party?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, he does. It was one direction you left, the same direction you came back. There's a big court building that kind of stands up above the others in the city, so it was easy to spot. You know where you're
Okay.
going.
All right. So he's going to find them and catch up to them, and as soon as he sees them, he's going to say, "Marvy, Rooster, Billy."
Okay. So let's retcon just a little bit and go back about 5 minutes in time. After Stamets left, what was the conversation between Rooster, Billy, and Mobby?
I assume we probably just talked about how to find this guy for about 5 minutes.
We were
Oh,
talking
okay.
about okay, sure.
Yeah, because that's right. You guys are completely
Yeah.
unaware of the gold, so you're making plans to go find this guy.
Yeah, I'm just more like sitting here like this is gonna be a completely like this is gonna get worse if we try to do it to try to get more money out of him because paying off what he already owes. He's probably not gonna want to pay more than that. So I'm like, you're gonna figure out a way to get the money some else way.
And so to give you guys some a little bit of minor guidance, because and this might be overstepping the boundaries a little bit as DM, but I don't care. So you guys have the like you guys are very well aware that this guy that you are pursuing is a jeweler, and he might be worth hundreds of gold. There's no way to know what he's worth. But then there was the conference in the jail where he was making a strong push for you guys to go to Maritonia. Now, to give you just a little bit of world knowledge, which I don't know how well you guys keep up on this or not, and so I'm not gonna make any assumptions. Fazania is where you guys just came from. There are forest gods and some old beefs out there. Maritonia is what this jailbird was telling you about. And he was claiming out there's a lot of different kingdoms, warlords, dukes and duchesses, whatever, who've got different chips on their shoulders. And now that the celestial contest is starting and no holds are going to be barred, they're going to be paying top dollar to hired swords. And then there's Anascala up north, which is populated by wild tribal races. Lots of gods up there. A few of the more serious ones. And some of your characters may have had history with Anascala. Some of them may not. So, with that,
Yeah, some of them may have history and is wanting to beat the crap out of things.
So some of the so with that as a minor backdrop, go ahead.
So I'm of the opinion that the real sticking point here is whether or not we want to be in Storm's Keep or somewhere else by the time this contest starts.
And for anybody like Rooster or Mavi, anybody except for Stamets, really, who has no present world knowledge, Storm's Keep is generally the safest place to be for a celestial contest, but you have to live there for an entire year. Storm's Keep, none of the gods fuck with Storm's Keep because it's the midpoint for all travel. It's a huge economic center. The gods all depend on it, as well as people for the goods that they need for their armies and things like that. And Storm's Keep has, from the hangings, evidence from the hangings that you witnessed at the courthouse. They have very draconian law policies because Storm's Keep disruptions are felt by everyone everywhere. And so nobody messes with Storm's Keep. So if you guys want to avoid the frenetic energy that accompanies the celestial contest, Storm's Keep is the place to be. And already, well, you know, I'm not going to give any more details than that, but I'll leave off right there. Go ahead and discuss.
Well, I mean, we have to get our friend out of jail.
Yeah,
So-
that bail would probably be high. If they even get bail.
Well, that's a good plan too. I wasn't thinking about bail.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good point. I mean, is anybody here even familiar with this city?
No.
All of you can
I'm not
roll
from here.
history checks.
Okay.
And tell me what you roll. I'll believe you.
I got 11.
Let's
I rolled a 19. Nat 20 minus 1.
Oh, nat 20 minus 1?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we're going to retcon just a little bit. We are going to omit that you asked if anybody else was familiar with the city, because if Rooster's super familiar with the city by virtue of his nat 20, he's not going to ask that question.
Okay, so do you have a ballpark estimate of what that bail might be?
Yes, in the hundreds.
All right, so here's the here's the deal. I myself, I don't know about the rest of you. I don't want to be stuck in this place for a year. I can't survive here. If we want to get your friend out and pay off our debts, we're going to need several hundred gold plus what we owe. So let's say 500 plus 31 would be a pretty conservative estimate. So do we have time for that? Or do we
Well, I
have
mean-
to take a risk with the law?
What about that jeweler?
Jeweler is still questionable because even then we just want to get them to pay off what they owe. But we're not going to be able to, we'd have to steal from them, and that's already a higher enough issue, and we're not supposed to break any laws. Try not to break any laws and get caught. That is the issue.
Okay. Is prostitution legal here?
Are you trying to tell me something?
Inspiration to Billy.
Sure.
Oh, I think
What makes
Billy
you
wants
think
to
you
sell
were telling
himself.
me anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, inspiration to Billy. Make sure that you note that, Billy.
Well,
I mean that's
I doubt that you have the kind of
I mean, let's be honest. The only kind of clientele he's going to attract are goat ropers anyway, right?
Oh!
Whoa. All
I
right.
mean there's
My
plenty of
God.
them, but we might be in the
went
wrong place
there.
for that.
So
I mean if it is legalized.
here's some practical problems. Say we steal from the jeweler. Well, he'll obviously be filing a report, so we'd need some way to silence him. And if the jeweler was gone and somebody began selling a lump sum of precious jewels, kind of puts eyes on us.
well, I mean,
Very suspicious.
you said prostitution is legal. Let's go with that. Let's start a brothel.
You are not getting fucked 500 gold worth of times between now and next Tuesday.
Well, I mean, I can do it
I
a lot
mean-
of times between now and then. Me and
What I know of what do I know about the city layout?
me and Sam, we can double up.
What do you know about the city layout?
Yeah.
Roll history.
I rolled a 14.
All right. Docks are in the west. Court buildings and other government buildings are central. Slums are to the south. The Palisades are to the north. And then to the east are somewhat middle class, but it's kind of pocketed. I mean, there are a few places in the east, like really bad neighborhoods, but overall, it's pretty middle of the road.
Okay. I honestly don't even know why I asked that, but good to know.
At what point does
I
Stamets
assume
show up
you asked
to the
that to
group?
find the.
Oh, good question. So just then, Stamets pops up.
Marvy!
And I assume you asked that so we could find the really fancy
Rooster!
prostitutes.
Billy!
Hello.
You went on the journey of a lifetime, didn't you?
Me?
Come back, you little son of a bitch!
Don't mind him. Squanch had a bunch of money on him.
Oh, you
and
better mind me. I have a lawyer now.
Squanch had a bunch of money on him, and it comes out to be about 64 gold, which means we can each have 12 gold apiece, counting Squanch.
Oh my, that is my gold, and I do not give everybody 12 gold apiece. He looks at everybody and realizes he is totally outgunned in the short term. You get 2 gold apiece, and you're lucky for that.
I look at the old goblin and go, there's another worker for our establishment.
Oh, no. We are no. If you try, pray your soul that you will not get kicked hard by me.
What kind of work are we talking about?
No, we're not even gonna go there.
Hey,
No,
look, you're a little bit
do not
too old
bring
to
it
be a
up,
working
Billy.
man.
No one will hire him for that type of job. We are not going to that direction.
Oh, I
End of
beg your
discussion.
pardon.
Guys.
I am a great worker. Now, what are we doing?
We're doing
Wait.
prostitution.
Okay,
I
so
got a good one.
So Stamets.
You brazen hussy! And he goes after Billy with his stick.
Can I step in front of him?
Billy, roll
Can I step in front of Billy?
Yes, you can. And are you wearing armor?
Good question. I don't think so, but I know I have feats that I have like
Oh yeah, you're a Goliath. So your skin's like freaking rock hard, right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. His stick is just bouncing off your skin harmlessly then.
Yeah. I don't need a roll for that. It's just a rock.
You brazen hussy and that.
I raise my hand.
Calm down.
All right. Okay, Mavi, here's 12 gold. I will put 12 gold into my... or I will keep 12 for me, and Rooster, here's 12 gold. Billy, here's 12. And Squanch, here's 16 gold. You get the 4 remaining coins. And he gives Squanch 16 gold.
You. I had 52 gold at one point, and now I gotta support all these bums.
You could attest that you're mentally enfeebled and cannot be trusted with currency. You're lucky.
Oh my god.
I was going to give it to my lawyer, and she was going to make my life happy. Thanks for ruining that.
You know what she was probably doing? Like what other people who are business people are. They're being gold diggers. Never count your money in front of people. You hide your money and be smart about it. Don't be stupid.
I've never seen this much money in one place.
Mavi, are you condemning me for taking
Wow,
his
you're
gold
holding
and
more
giving
money
some
than
to
you've
you?
ever owned. So what does that tell you about your money management?
Well, the way
I
I lived...
appreciate the money.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, yeah.
How am I supposed to survive in this city on this?
Don't
we're not gonna
worry.
Stay in the city.
We're not staying.
What? No more adventures. I'm too old. I'm going to be eaten by a kraken just like all my brethren.
Rest assured, you probably didn't have that much longer anyways.
I have hemorrhoids. They're gonna kill me.
Squanch. Take a deep breath.
You took all my money.
I will not be spending a dime of the one you gave me unless it's absolutely necessary to keep you alive. So, I'm just keeping this so you don't spend it all.
I was
Understand?
gonna spend it on lodgings and alcohol.
And prostitutes.
No, it
I don't
doesn't
think
work anymore like it
Squanch,
used to.
16 gold is enough for plenty of alcohol. Right? Isn't it?
You would die.
Yes. That's a lot of money to buy just alcohol in general.
Oh. Mm.
Squanch. We are just trying to look out for you. And you having a lot of gold and not understanding that people take advantage of people who have money. We are
Why
just
don't you
trying to
just
make
take
sure
the
you're
arm off my
safe.
back and then tell me you're looking out for me?
Because you were yelling at us the entire time. I'm crossing my arms. Mavi's crossing her arms and looking down at him because she is significantly taller than him.
Take
And
the hair
he's
out
like,
of my head and then tell me it's for my own good.
oh. She just pinches her nose.
So,
This
yeah.
is what I get for arguing with an old man. I'm going to
Well,
have
this is
gray
what I
hairs by
get for
this.
arguing with a giant earth booger. And he storms off.
Wait. I want to cast silence.
Oh,
Okay,
duct tape would be more sufficient.
Is it okay? Let me remind me. When you cast silence, doesn't that create a bubble through which no noise can travel? Or am I thinking
Yeah.
about a different spell?
That's how I
I
treat
think
it.
you're right. I think that's how it works.
So do you
maybe
still
not.
cast it?
No, it won't follow him.
I think you can set it on a certain person, but it has a radius of 20 feet. So if he lingers, nobody else can talk.
Is that just a max
That would be
radius, or can you do it smaller than that?
I'm looking it up right now because I haven't. Let's see. For the duration, no sound can be created or with it pass through a 20-foot radius sphere. 20-foot radius, so that's a 40-foot diameter. Center
Holy
of the
shit!
point.
Oh shit!
Any creature is immune to thunder damage. Creatures are deafened while inside it. Casting a spell. Yeah, so I'm going to let you second guess that one now that you know what it is. But for the future, don't cast spells without knowing what they are.
Oh, I totally still do it. Just for the
I thought I could bend the rules more than that, but okay, I'll pass. I just kind of slump over and look disappointed after getting revved up for this spell.
So at this point, I think Squanch is out of things to say. Is there any discussion about what the next plans are?
If we stay here, I have to ask you actually. Okay, so if we stay here to pursue the civil case, we're stuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Well, when you say we are stuck, what do you mean?
We cannot leave because the celestial contest has begun.
No, that is not true. Ships do not stop traveling after the celestial contest begins. Ships will continue to travel. That is a constant.
well,
We could make more money off of those civil cases.
yes, we could.
Let's see. I'm gonna have Billy, Mavi, and Michael roll history cases or history
Okay.
rolls, and I'll roll for Michael. Or shit, I can't roll for Michael. She's in prison. I'm sorry. So Billy
Right.
rolled a 7.
No, that was a mistake because that was insight, not history.
Oh, you rolled an
I
18.
rolled 18. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. Hold on. The system is weird, so I'm trying to figure. How do I roll for history?
It should be pretty simple. I mean, if you're in roll 20,
Yeah.
You just you see like the history in the middle. You click on like the plus the number.
and I'm gonna try and make it easy for you. Give me just a second. I'm gonna pull up your character sheet and tell you what your addition is. So then, at that point, if I do that, you can just roll a dice.
Yeah, it's 0. When I look at the D&D Beyond, I just have to roll a d20.
Okay, roll a d20. Figure out.
Come on. It's taking a bit. It's
Yeah, let me know when you got your answer.
It's a 5. So
Yeah,
not great.
you miss. But Billy's a little shit, as has been demonstrated by the progress of the game. And he's been to court a
Yes.
few times. One of the other times that he's been to court has been in Storm's Keep. And he knows that civil cases are a roll of the dice and that no money is certain. And he expresses that to the rest of the group. Well, you can choose whether to express to the rest of the group, but you have that knowledge.
Yeah, I'll express to the rest of the group.
Okay.
Well, I think in that case, our time might be better served trying to get your friend out of prison. I don't necessarily think there's anything in this city for any of us. Are y'all in agreement?
Oh, I mean, where else can we go to get the gold?
We might have to leave her here while we can afford it.
Oh. Stamets? Any thoughts?
I'll end up going wherever the group goes. I don't really have any idea what to do next.
The only things available to us here are going to be, well, even if we do that intimidation job for the short woman from court, we just have to give the money back to her. The only things that we could do here to gain currency are going to be slow and arduous. We'd have to find places to stay, and it would have to be legal and boring.
I'm beginning to
nobody would
realize that
die.
legality isn't a good guide in this world.
It's meant to keep you poor.
Perhaps we could do something that skirts the law to make money?
What did you have in mind?
Well, I don't really have anything in mind. Just perhaps we can widen our parameters and think outside the box.
I think I know what he's saying.
Well, you're saying we should break bad?
I don't even know what I'm saying. What am I saying?
This is weird because I'm excited, but I can't really share anything. But if some player heard things that some character wasn't supposed to hear because some character didn't know a certain thing was being considered.
That's
Maybe
cryptic.
we should go see Michael in a day or two. Have a look.
I have an idea.
Oh, please speak.
Firstly, we need to pay off what is already owed, and knowing that civil cases don't really go anywhere most of the time. money's not even guaranteed. We need to move. And I
What?
already have some business that needs to be taken care of in a different country.
So, side note here. What if we paid off what we owe and then we pay a little extra to appeal this judgment?
I don't think we'll have enough to
You know,
pay.
that could be happening while we're gone, trying to make more money.
What kinds of things are worth the most money in this world? I didn't even know that gold coins were worth something until I was being asked for them. What is worth the most
Sex.
of those? Are there things like
That's so cute. A beat is like worth $10.
Well, you could always go the Billy route. You could
I'd argue
harm
on that
somebody
say
for
drugs.
I mean,
well, that precious gold is a precious metal, I take it. What about there are other beautiful structures in nature. What about gemstones or crystals?
Oh, drugs.
How much are those worth?
Depends.
generally enough for our purposes.
Is there a place that sells them?
We were informed of a certain somebody who might have a stockpile of these items you seek.
What kind of a person is this that has this stockpile?
A dwarven jeweler with a big red beard and a huge axe.
Is he?
Oh, you mean a judge?
What do we think of this dwarven jeweler?
Probably slow. Probably can't swim because of their short limbs. Could push them off the dock.
Perhaps I'm not being clear. I mean, character-wise, do we like him?
We don't really know him. You know, you bring up a very good point. I mean, if he happens to drown and then we find the stuff.
Well, I wouldn't condone anything untoward unless they deserved it.
Oh, he's very mean. He eats animals, I hear.
He eats animals? Well, that's all the justification I need. Well, you know, I'm conflicted, though, because you all eat animals, so... In fact, everyone I've met so far eats animals. It's quite disturbing.
I'd say you were born under a rock, but... So, I think
yes, so you keep saying.
We were given the tip that we may find him... we may find him attempting to philandering near the docks, near the inns, near the docks. I think our first step should be to inconspicuously, subtly go in, check him out, see if we can get a feel for him. What kind of personality does he have? Is he gullible? Is he arrogant? How can we get these jewels from him, putting ourselves in as little peril as possible?
Perhaps my naivety could be of advantage here. Perhaps I could just speak to him, ask him questions. You all can use your usual vocabulary and condemn the fact that I've grown up or was born under a rock, etc., while I ask him very mundane questions. Gauge his character.
It just might be able to work. It's not like he's going to suspect anything. No matter what question you ask, you're pretty unassuming.
I think I'm starting to get the hang of this, though.
Excellent.
All right. Stamets is in.
Beautiful disciple.
We at least want to make sure that he's someone we are okay with screwing over, or that he's not going to if he's someone that Stamets is going to be super like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like feel bad for him or think he's a good person somehow, then he's not going to be for this.
Compassionate.
Yeah, compassionate.
Awesome. So it is 10:50, and I can go forward. I can go forward all night. I've got beer. Cheers.
How the rest of you guys
I don't
feel?
have beer.
So my question is, how do the rest of you guys feel?
I'll go as long as this continues, but I'm getting a little stir crazy.
Yeah, and I'm getting a little tired.
All right, we can call it. It's almost 11.
Yeah.
This is a good place
It's almost
to
midnight for me,
we
so
can go on our next quest next week.
Don't
Yeah,
show up
true.
3 weeks in a row, wind up in prison.
This was fun, by the way. I loved the court
You've been
scene.
incarcerated for a long time. Freedom must feel nice.
Tune in next week to see if we start a drug cartel.
Tune in
Stamets.
next week to see Stamets.
I kind of felt like Stamets was, like his naivety only lasts so long, and we only have so many sessions, so it's time for him to start getting the hang of some things.
Can't
Not-
wait to see criminal mastermind Stamets.
Not just be a
I'm
goody two
that
shoes
too.
that doesn't know anything. All right, man, take us out.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for kicking in. This is, I think, the third consecutive session with no combat. I am your host, Lepige, and I've enjoyed leading you through this game of Celestial Crisis hosted on With Disadvantage with our players Shev Stamets,
Goodbye, everyone.
Darth Dingus,
Except no
As Rooster?
substitutes.
Melodic Sass as Mavi,
stay safe.
and Rainbow as Billy.
Not guilty.
No shit. Even when you're not trying to cause trouble, you cause trouble.
Perpetual sketch.
All right. Thanks,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
We'll see you.